episode of Breaking Cycle Talks. We sincerely hope you enjoyed our last episode with Mrs. Tracy and Taffe-Thompson. Today we have with us Miss Maria Reid. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
I am happy to have you as a guest on our interview series.
Thank you for having me.
Now, today we will continue our 21-day faith plan, and our subtopic is It Doesn't Seem to Happen. Now, Maria, considering our topic, It Doesn't Seem to Happen, before we delve in, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, you know, that's always a hard question to answer. Mm-hmm. But I do think that I'm a person who's always striving to be better than I was. And I'm always learning. I like to learn more about life in general, and especially in relation to God and how He wants us to be.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that you said earlier that you're striving to be better than you were. Tell us about who you were before you became who you are now.
Okay. Well, I remember as a child, I was a very shy person, very reserved. It was really hard for me to even talk. I hated the sound of my voice. And I remember attending a church camp, and I asked to be excused to go to the bathroom. And I was alone in the bathroom, and the bathroom had a lot of mirrors. And I walked in, and I thought I saw somebody else there. But when I took a second look, I realized that it was me. And I'm like, "You're so pretty." And I stood there and I stared at myself for a good while, just realizing that I am a beautiful person. And I think it was at that time that I realized too that I can be better than I was. And I took steps to ensure I fixed that.
Okay, so what was that period like for you when you weren't at your optimal best?
Mm-hmm. It was always a matter of feeling less than others, and almost as if you're idolizing others because they seem to have it together and you don't, and you know, your thoughts, your opinions don't match up, you know. But luckily there were a couple persons around who were able to, you know, push and say, let's hear what you're saying, let's hear what you think about this. And that was very important for me at that time.
So those persons impacted you, they propelled you to, you know, the person who you are today.
They helped, yes.
How did they help you?
You know, it's a combination of direct and indirect approach, right? So I would look at them and I would, you know, admire how they are and determine which attributes I think would be good to have. And then I would sit and analyze if it would be good for me to adopt those attributes. And literally I take myself step by step through the process of adapting that and allowing it to be a part of me. And like I said before, there are persons who would definitely, you know, look out and say, well, you know, you can do this, or you can be this way, and kind of held my hand to a point, you know. So yeah, indirect and direct approaches from those persons.
Do you mind sharing some of the thoughts that you had about yourself?
Well, as mentioned earlier, I didn't really think I was anybody really. You know, my opinions were not really that important for me to say, well, share with an audience or with anybody. Mm-hmm. I would think of myself as not being worthy of, you know, anybody's attention, that kind of thing. Yeah, for the most part, those. I'm just just not being confident at all about anything.
Where do you think those thoughts came from?
I'm not sure. I just remember being very quiet, being very reserved. And even now when I think about it, I'm wondering if it was a plan of the enemy to silence me, you know, so that I don't tell my story and allow it to help somebody else. It's kind of hard for me to really, I'd have to think really hard, because I also have a lot of repressed memories of things that not so favorable, not so lovely. So it's possible that that's wrapped up in all of those repressed memories. But what I do remember was that turning point when I realized that there is more to me than just being shy and reserved and, you know, people calling me foo-foo and dark and that kind of thing.
Okay. Let's backtrack to, you know, the present and, you know, the steps. What were some of the steps that you took to, you know, enhance your self-concept, your self-esteem?
Well, I read a lot. I remember my mother, she bought me a book for girls. I'm not remembering the name now. And it had everything in it. Boyfriend, girlfriend, sex, kissing, love, menstruation, all of that. So that was, to me, that was her way of telling me about those things. Mm-hmm. Because she knew that I had it in me to read and comprehend for myself. So reading those books and standing on the facts, because they were facts to me. Mm-hmm. I had no other way of verifying. Now we have Google and we have all different kind of books and stuff like that. So I stood on those facts, and I developed a sense of awareness of every step of the way. So some things just didn't appeal to me when it would appeal to the average teen or young child. It didn't appeal to me because I knew from before where it would lead. You understand? So that was a very critical part of the development of my self-confidence, to be able to stand on facts, and also just the desire, there's this innate desire for me to just not be shy and reserved, because I think maybe it was built in me that I do have a voice. I do have opinions that count. And as we sit here, I remember in college, I remember we had some kind of presentation and I had a part to play in terms of delivering something. And I heard myself, you know, speaking eloquently, and I'm like, wow, that sounds so good. So it's still a walk right now. There's some situations that I do put myself in because I know I have that covered. But there are some situations that I know I have to put myself in to test the waters if I do have that part, you know, conquered, so to speak. So it is an ongoing process.
I would agree that it is an ongoing process. Okay, so for persons who are struggling with their self-concept, what message would you like to share with them?
Okay. The first thing I would say to them is, once you have that desire to change, find somebody you can talk to and allow them to guide you. I remember, if I may share another instance, I went to my guidance counselor at high school. I was thinking about it, and I finally mustered the courage to go to him. And I went to him and I said, "Sir, I need to talk to you. I think I have an issue with self-esteem." And he looked at me and he said, like, it's almost like he's saying, the mere fact that you came to me, no, you don't. And that was the end of that. It went no further. But I would say to, you know, anybody, a youngster, even an adult, because we are at different stages in our lives, different phases, go to somebody. It may not be a guidance counselor, it could be somebody at church, it could be someone you admire, but just be careful that it's somebody who is, you know, living up to precepts that you agree with, values that you agree with. And you go to them and ask them to help. And sometimes you may go to one and they may not know how to help you, but don't give up, because there are persons out there who are willing to help people to develop their self-confidence and their self-esteem.
Is there any other message that you'd like to share?
Well, our faith is another critical point of reference when it comes to our self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-concept. So I think if you're able to clarify your faith, the position that you take, I'm not telling you that you should be of a particular faith, but just clarify what you believe in, and that can be a journey in itself. Mm-hmm. So the sooner you embark on that journey, the better it will be for you. And through that, you can also learn how to be more confident, mm-hmm. and how to stand on your purpose and not allow anything or anyone to put you down.
Thank you very much, Maria. Powerful stuff. Thanks for listening to another segment of our Breaking Cycle Talks. I sincerely hope that you were truly impacted by Maria's interview, her message. Remember that we also offer sessions for persons who are struggling with self-esteem issues. If you're interested, you may contact us via the link below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.